So thank you for joining us on My Voice TV show. This is I, Mutuma Mbabo, with my co-hosts.
Clinton Kome.
With us we have the technical advisor to the CS Ministry of Agriculture, Julius Kimathi. And he will be letting us know more about the ministry and more so on his political journey. Welcome, Sana Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Sana.
This is our camera to our viewers. You can state greetings and say a word to them.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Julius Kimathi, the Senior Technical Advisor to the CS in the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperative, and that's where we work now. Particularly for now, we are concentrating on value chains. We have the coffee issues, we have tea and sugar cane. But for the sake of MERU, we are talking about the coffee and the tea. And particularly this month, we are on tea. Coffee, we are almost through. We are only waiting for the bill to be through in Parliament, and it becomes an act. But for tea, the act is already there. But it's only that the KTD has taken, has stopped some of the functioning of some of the acts in the tea act. So that's why we have a block. That's why you can hear complaints from farmers. They are complaining that they want the elections, and in MERU they have scheduled the elections to be on 21st of this month. Maybe if you are in MERU town today, you met them agitating their dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
And expressing their dissatisfaction to the county commissioner, and generally telling the public they are not happy as farmers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So mentioning on the tea reforms, or maybe on the coffee part, mwananchi kuna jambo ambalo analotegea. There is something citizens are waiting. What can you advise us?
Already in the coffee we have done a lot. We have the first payout ile ilitokoya juzi. Now, from the payout that was there was a lot of gain, because now coffee has improved with a margin of over 40 shillings per kilo. Where they were getting 30, they are now getting 70. And there are those who have even got 100 in MERU. And there's a factory called Anchenge in Negembe. Their payout was 100 shillings, 101 per kilo. So those are already gains in the reforms in the coffee sector. And there are many things that we are doing now. We want to restructure also the factories. There's a program called the Coffee Revitalization Project that is how to ensure that the coffee factories are made more modern and compliant. They have the current weighing, the digital weighing machine, the pair of general factory, because things have gone wrong in so many forms in the factories.
Yes.
So there's a program to do that in the coffee sector. Another thing is the act that I've told you about. It is already in Parliament, and that act you will see so many things through the coffee sector, so that they will protect the farmer and ensure market is also done well. So that bill alone is addressing so many things that are going to protect the farmer. Because we can say by one, and when we talk about what, the farmer will not be protected. So that is what we are calling the new coffee bill 2020. Yes.
To mention on it, apart from the bills, there is a sector, for instance, in Northern Menti where we are sitting on.
Yes.
Coffee farming is on a downscale.
Yes.
The level of coffee farming, we can't compare it to the start when we started coffee farming.
Yes.
So what are the strategies, or how are we going to revive this industry? Because the mentality in citizens today, or the local mwananchi who is doing coffee farming, is that haina pesa.
No, pesa iko. Unajua, first of all, we also want to engage the youth, people of your age. Because if coffee has money, definitely the youth will like the farming. Because when we say maybe 1 kilo to go to 100 shillings, youth, they just want to find where there is money. They don't want to do this don't work, where you work for the whole year, there is no gain. So we want the youth to be engaged in the program. We have the new KPCU in MERU here. It is also going to be modernized as an agent of the bigger new KPCU in Nairobi. Those are 4 branches. We have 4 branches countrywide. Not even 4, but the big ones are 4. Meru, Sagana, and Dandora in Nairobi. Basically, they are the big ones. So here is, I think, the incentives that we have in Nodimenti, like the factories when they have realized the new payout. Like there's a factory up here in Tongoro. They are paying at, I think, around 84 shillings per kilo. That alone is an inspiration.
Yeah.
That alone is an inspiration. So people have started now going back to the farms. We are also in the process of subsidizing fertilizer to the farmers. Some people, when you subsidize fertilizer, and then the prices improve, many more people in Northern Menti will be in coffee farming, because that is the only way they can make money. Here in Northern Menti, there is no other crop that can give them more money and easier money than coffee, comparative. I don't think there is any other in Northern Menti. Partly because Northern Menti has the sections here is basically the farming. There we want also to introduce cotton. We are there almost there. The task force has been formed. He has given the report to the cabinet secretary, C.S. Munya. And I think very soon there will be a lot of sensitization on the cotton farming, particularly that will favor the raw part of Northern Menti. Then the mineral is coffee. Then the part of it is tea. And there is some areas there. So I think what we are addressing now, we are addressing the problems of Northern Menti. When I mention of tea, coffee, and a bit of cotton. Yes.
And going forward, Mheshimiwa, from where I come from, I've seen people cutting down the coffee trees. I come from South Menti. I've seen people cutting down trees za coffee. Wanasema hazina pesa kabisa. So I don't know how you can tell those farmers. Then from there you can.
South Menti, they have quite so many factories.
Yeah.
In fact, they have more factories than more societies than any other constituency in the Ranja Meru County. And the prices are also good there. I think those who brought their coffee to the new KPCU, they were getting an average of between over 70 shillings per kilo. And before they used to get 40. So basically South Menti is the same issue with the North Menti, and basically even Central Menti. The issue is on price. If the price is good, then we are there.
And down here, Mheshimiwa, there are people who farm tobacco.
Yes.
It's part of agriculture.
Yes.
So what about it?
Tobacco, is that was being done privately by a private company, the BAT. I know there was an issue with one of the company called Mastermind, I think.
Yeah.
The farmers were not paying, but as a ministry we have pushed the company to pay, though the company went under, but we are really pushing so that the company can pay the farmers. But that's a private farming.
Yeah.
Basically tobacco is on private farming. The government has no major hand, but that does not mean that we are not out there to support the farmers. But basically, it's not like tea or coffee.
Still on coffee, we understand that from term start and what is going on still on the industry in our factories in Waso, they are full of debt. Speaking of, for instance, where we come from, we have all the debts. These factories are kuna watu wanawadai pesa na hizi pesa zinadaiwa kwa mkulima. Maybe there were cartels who used the name of the factory and they were laid a number of money. So how will we help this new in the new reforms?
What we are addressing first is the price. You have to give things priorities. Let's once address the price, you address the price. Then with the pending debts or bills or whatever you call them, those I think gradually the government will address them so that you cannot address two things at the same time. First of all, you have to address the most painful issue, which is the price. So that when we have the price right, then these are the pending issues. Like now I'm telling you, the government is subsidizing the fertilizer. It is also modernizing our factory. We are still coming. So that will come now to the issue of the debt as the last issue. So that you cannot all solve things at the same time. Even those ones will be addressed. There will also be people who will be employed as extension officers who are project, coffee revitalization project. These ones will be supporting the farmers as extension officers for 3 years. It is part of to ensure people have the know-how of the input. So slowly we are coming there. We will come to the debts and all those, but we cannot solve things at the same time, all of them.
Yeah. So again, Mheshimiwa, in the factories of coffee, recently we found people are stealing, I don't know, grade 1, grade 2.
Yes, there's coffee theft. That
Yeah.
one is it's been rampant, but even in that program, we want to put what do you call it, you know, kind of pirimbi kubwa, kingora,
Yeah.
so that for security, so that the watchman can be having it, and then and also CCTV want to have them in the society, so that if there's any theft or suspected theft or people coming, that watchman there will just raise the alarm, or it's alarm. Want to put a big alarm
Yeah.
in the societies to prevent theft, so that if alarm is put there and you suspect that there are thieves coming, you just press the button. Then the villagers will come out, the police will come out to stop the massive coffee theft. You know, this stealing of coffee at times is in-house game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is in-house. That's why we have involved the provincial administration, and I think the provincial administration have directed that if coffee is stolen from any factory, the first suspect are the rinders of that factory, because these cannot come from London; they just come from within. So that is the measure we want to take in terms of to ensure that, you know, it's a big loss when coffee is stolen, and it is stolen the premium grade,
Yeah.
the best grade. A, B, they know, these they are not just stealing, they know.
Yeah.
But if A is taken and then you are left with nothing, so it is, you know, it is very painful when a farmer does not know that the entire year, and coffee is gone. Quite a challenge.
Okay, that was the first bait on the coffee implementations bill in the parliament, and Mheshimiwa is on to the next bait, that is the tea industry. Mheshimiwa, you have been on the land about tea industry.
Tea now. I told you the ministry has done a lot under the CS Humu to ensure that there is tea act, and it is already there. But the problem now has been the KTDA. KTDA has been blocking the implementation of the act, and now things are in parliament. I mean, in the court, we cannot discuss them. But now the farmers are out again. They want directions to ensure that they remove all the directors who are blocking them, because it is their tea. They are the ones who are farming. This is their own chambers. These are factories of farmers. That's why I was telling you in Meru town today, you could see them agitating their hunger and dissatisfaction. So very soon, I believe farmers should. I normally tell them to encourage them to go on fighting, because if you can see that you are being pressed, what else do you do?
So according to you, Mheshimiwa, shida iko wapi in the
Shida iko kwa management. Shida iko kwa management. They are not being very open and transparent to the farmers. If they are open, like, you know, they should not be in court. They will be telling the farmers A, B, C, D can be done this way, and then the farmers will be okay. But there is no transparency. Even in the coffee, the prices were banned because of lack of accountability and transparency. Watu wanapeleka kahawa kwa mill, they don't know anything until they get the price. But you are saying in coffee, when you take coffee to the coffee mill, you must supervise when it is the milling is going on. You must be told who is buying and how much. You must be meant to know how your things are being sold. But the same darkness is in tea industry. That's why they have a problem.
So, still on the tea industry, it has been looked that there are cartels in the industry. We have some
Very many.
So many cartels in the industry. So what is the approach? How will we end up fighting this?
No, cartels will be fought by Mwananchi when we streamline the system. Cartels die a natural death when you streamline. You know, cartels are not mangoes, they are not trees, they are people who, when systems are put right, they disappear. So when the systems will be put right, they will disappear, definitely. They will not be there. They will see they will not penetrate anywhere. So they will go.
Still on the tea industry. So we have had, for instance, there are some factories. Before we knew that a factory, if I take my tea leaves in a certain factory, I can't sell them outside the factory. But before we have had a certain, maybe in Meru, a certain factory which tends to buy tea,
Yes,
cash in hand.
this is a factory. I'm not naming the name, but they have been buying. You know, that's a private factory,
Yeah.
and he's an entrepreneur, and he's free to go on looking for tea where he was offering us maybe that shillings or so. And when the farmers were getting very low, then some because they want the cash and they have no money, they end up selling it tea to him. That's a private entrepreneur, and he was also competing. You know, competition is also good.
Yeah.
If you are not able to do this, you bring a competitor. Yeah, so Kate India should do very well to keep away all these other emerging private companies that are dealing with the tea. They must pay well, they must be timely, there must be accountability. The farmer must feel comfortable and satisfied.
The Ministry of Agriculture has a lot to discuss. To mention but a few, we have the fishery department, we have the sugarcane department, we have the dairy department, and more so, to my know-how, Mheshimiwa, the dairy farmers in Meru are at peace now.
Yes,
tell us about the dairy farming.
Dairy farming, you know, one thing that the CS Munya has done is to ensure there are regulations. Like now recently in Kassetting some regulations. And he's going to regulate, to consider these regulations every 6 months to ensure that the milk at the farm price is okay with the farmer, so that the farmer is not totally exploited. Farm prices, like now we are saying, they have certain the rules to say this, that the shillings. That the shillings is the farm price. But that does not mean that it is a market price. No, market price can be even 50 or 60 or 70. But we are saying no time should milk go through below that what farm price, and they will be certain every 6 months to protect the farmer from being exploited. There are times when you could hear people are just pouring milk to the report. How is shirini? How do they given to that kind of money? So these are the reforms that the CS is doing, and he has to do more to ensure that to protect, and also to block milk coming from outside, powder milk and the like that is brought by the school price business people. So he's going to close all those loopholes to ensure that the manage here in the country is protected.
That's amazing for the ministry. More so to speak of in Meru County where we are sitting on. I know residents always have something to hear foremost when it comes to agriculture. Those are residents from Egembe constituencies and even Tigania constituencies. Matters concerning miraa. They blame it is their cash crop. This is where they feed their children from. This is where they get their fees from and even feed themselves from. So we have had a lot of things. Kuna mambo yamekuwa kwa miraa sana.
Miraa, you know, the problem is the market, but you know that is, you know, Somali consume quite a higher percentage in terms of our cash crop miraa. The government is doing negotiations to see how they can penetrate. Things are moving forward, but I know very soon things will be okay. It's only a question of time.
Yeah.
And the Somali will just open the market, and then the market will be available, because purely now people are really suffering, and we really feel for them. But you know, we cannot, that's our government.
Yeah.
Why you cannot do anything? It's only ni kupembeleza tu na kuona mwanya, kutafuta mwanya. Na serikali inatafuta mwanya, where they can enter and then have the miraa business going on as usual.
So now, Mheshimiwa, on the issue of miraa, is this miraa sacco ilikuwa ifanyiwe, but I don't know what happened. Again, the farmers are saying that the money did not get it.
Mr. Muti will be coming here.
Yeah.
We will answer more on miraa sacco. He's the man behind the sacco, and he has all the information that will require about the sacco. But I know it's a sacco that is going to support the farmer. You know, that's where now you can invest your money and start borrowing. And they are really borrowing. And you know, they were given quite some money of 100 million as a silly money, and they started borrowing.
So that is so amazing for the farmers in Meru and even across Kenya. I think the Mheshimiwa shed a little light about what is going on across the nation, and more so on the farmers in the country. And now, Mheshimiwa, to speak a little more about your political life and even what you are anticipating furthermore ahead. Now, that is that little you feel that Kenyans don't know, or even the people from your constituency don't know about you, and more so on what you are hiding most. That is what we want to hear, Mheshimiwa.
Yeah, you know me, I was the county secretary. I've owned my own profile from being an EO up to the county secretary. And then from there I went to politics. I went to look for a seat in Central Mint to be an area member of parliament because things were not right. And even now they are not right as per my standards. So this is what inspired me to look for the seat, to be an area member of parliament for Central Mint, where road network is below 0% in terms of permanent roads or weather road. I'm not talking of the Mara. Do me and don't address Mara man. These are normal things. They have been done since time immemorial. Even the first MP was doing the same. But I think we are talking of permanent roads or weather roads. And occasion-wise, we need to do something. About agriculture, we need to also streamline because the lower part, there is no enough water for farming, not domestic. So these are things we want to put up, among many others. Among many others. Settlement gave me so many votes last time. 9,000 is not few, considering the one who won at 12,000. So this time I know they are giving me more. This time, 2022, they know. They know I'm coming. They know they are going to give me votes.
So Mheshimiwa, when you are inside there, us as young people, maybe young people from your residents in your constituency, what should we be? What should be in waiting? What should we wait for?
No, the young, what you do is you create a neighboring environment for them in terms of what the youth want. The youth want so many things. You need them to be a bit more creative to create these platforms that are youth-oriented to create jobs for them. And then you have also activities like sports. You promote it well in a more classified way so that they are able to be engaged and also to be promoted, because one now can imagine from there have the super leagues in many forms. So sporting is for the youth. Creating of the online platform to look for the jobs is for the youth. And the minimum, and the talents. You want to have the talents from the youth.
Yeah.
Engage those shows where the youth can tap their talent and manage and also broadcast them, out.
Yeah,
Singing and the like.
So now you are saying that you're gonna build a talent theater in your constituency.
A big one. In fact, a big one.
That's amazing. I think
Not even a small one, a big one, where you are able to tap your talents, singing.
With the full equipment.
With the full equipment, singing, broadcasting like the one that you are doing, and all. Also where they can go online and maybe write proposals, and they are making their money online. They become rich. You don't need to be even employed. Just in there and a small laptop, or even laptops that are in-house. Then you make a proposal and then make money. So these are things you need to expose at even one level, not at the constituency level, one level.
So Mheshimiwa, now in our constituency, when it comes bursary allocation, these disbanding them to school, like there's a school in Central Mint, upper in about the West one, called the Gedongo Boys. There were students there in the previous regime that were being sponsored by the CDF, Immense Central. But after election, you find that the MP has been voted out. The coming one does not recognize those ones. So how can we be doing something constructive there?
That's a short-sighted leadership. When you are supporting the youth, it doesn't matter who comes.
Yeah.
Again, you must put a structure that is not only for the CDF.
Yeah.
You must put a bursary fund that is quite broad, that is able to cater to outlive you. To outlive you so that when you go out, even others can run it. If it is a bursary and the people are benefiting, why not do continue? These are your citizens, whether they voted you or not. These are the constituency money, and it's not your money. This is the government money, it's the taxpayers' money. It's not yours. You're only becoming a supervisor, kind of a patron of a fund.
And when it comes to bursary, we've seen students saying that they are being given like 2,000, 3,000 bursary. So what is the problem?
Thinking and definition of how an indicator is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now you're supposed to classify it, because if you give me 1,000, have you solved the problem or just increase the appetite? You know, you have not solved anything. Can you put quite a imaginable level that can be able to solve a student's problem? You don't give 1,000 for one day school that has 5,000. Why don't you give 5,000 and then you solve that problem even for 10 or 20? Then the rest can go another cycle. Why give a dose? You are treating a patient, you give a half dose. Then you give a half dose. They can all die eventually. Why don't you treat one fully? Give either day school 5,000, Monday school another 10 or 15, give them 10. The other cycle give others.
So, Mheshimiwa, I'll give you a few seconds to say something to our residents in our constituency, and furthermore to the nation at large. We are facing a very hard time. The pandemic is still on us. You can share something to our viewers, say something.
Let me say that we are sorry for Kenya now. We are in a pathetic situation. The COVID-19 is still becoming a big threat. So I'm appealing to all Kenyans, and let's observe the COVID rules. We sanitize and do that the Ministry of Health is telling us to do, so that we can be able to overcome this demonic, satanic epidemic that is here with us. And I believe very soon things will be okay. To the people of Central Imenti, thank you for the support they have given me. We look forward to meeting you in very many forms, even now, because we are working. Now it's not politics, now we are working. When politics come, we'll be there. But for now, kila mtu afanye kazi, wale wako wafanye kazi, na sisi tufanye kazi yetu. So asante.
Na la mwisho wa kugoja 2022.
Waningoje nakuja. Nakuja.
Thank you for having us, and to our viewers back at home. Thank you for viewing our show. This is My Voice TV show, and inside Doto Yangu TV. I urge you to be on us every Thursday on Doto Yangu TV. We'll be airing this show live, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube at Doto Yangu TV, and on Facebook our page is Doto Yangu TV, on Instagram Doto Yangu TV, and on Twitter Doto Yangu TV. Don't miss out next time at Doto Yangu TV.